Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Slow Burn Pro Wrestling Podcast, where all professional wrestling storylines live. As always, I am your host, Matt Brandon, bringing you all professional wrestling's news, notes, innuendos, and whatever else in the world of pro wrestling that you can come up with. Here we are at the Slow Burn. Happy Saturday, everyone. The weekend is upon us, and guess what? I'm all caught up. I got all caught up. Actually, there's one thing I still have to watch. All right, but it's not anything that is so pressing. New Japan event last night. I got to try to check that out because I heard that the Tanahashi Ace versus Zack Sabre Jr. is one of the greatest matches of all time. So with that said, I need to check that out before the evening is over. But we got some time today. All right, we got some time today. So here's what we're gonna do. All right, on our Saturday not so short today, I'm gonna quickly go over some TNA stuff. I did finish TNA. Thank goodness I did. Part of me actually thought maybe I should just kind of skim through TNA and blah. I'm glad that I watched because from beginning to end because the show was hot. All right, so we're going to do that. I want to get through that live from Irvine, California, right? And then we're going to talk a little bit about last night's SmackDown live from Des Moines, Iowa. And it was great. Also, want to quickly preview tonight's AEW Collision. Not a lot out on this yet, but should still be a pretty decent show with what we have. So anyway, let's go ahead and get this going. Like I said, I'm caught up on all the normal televised shows. There's just a little bit of other not so televised shows I need to get to. So got my TNA out of the way. We went ahead and knocked out SmackDown. But you know what? Before we did any of that, just like I said, we got some of that Blues hockey, baby. Blues win game 6, tied up 3-3, going back to Winnipeg tomorrow night, Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern. Dude, let's go Blues. Let's go Blues. This is a fun team to watch. If anybody thought we were going to be in the playoffs before this season started, I want to have a conversation with you. I predicted that, hey, if we make the playoffs, this is a fantastic season. It's a success. The rebuild is upon us. We're almost there. These young kids are so fun. And then we bring in Coach Montgomery and the whole freaking thing changes, right? So go Blues. Cannot wait to see what happens. And we'll go from there, right? Go Blues tomorrow night, 7 o'clock versus the Winnipeg Jets. Okay. Let's get to Thursday. All right. I know we're a couple days removed, but we got to get to Thursday. All right. By the way, tonight's show is brought to you by Zaxby's. Man, I'm gonna miss this when I move. I always say I'm gonna miss so much stuff when I leave here in a few weeks. Obviously friends that we've made. I've said before, I'm gonna miss my ball players so much, my former players, friends who became like family. I'm gonna miss my job, my coworkers. But I'm gonna miss Zaxby's like a lot. I'm gonna miss Zaxby's a lot. And you people up north that you Northerners, you Yankees. That's so funny to me. Anyway, you Northerners that don't know Zaxby's, you're lost. You're lost. Okay. I know I'm going to get Canes up there for my chicken fix. I get that, but I'm a Zaxby's man, so we shall see. Okay. Anyway, back to what really actually no. You know what really matters is Zaxby's. No, back to what really matters. TNA Impact live from Irvine, California. We're going to go fairly quick. There's a few things I want to spotlight though. We opened up with a Joe Hendry promo. All right. Now, not a big deal. You would think, hey, the TNA champion's opening up the show. Big fucking deal, right? Well, I want to say this. This is maybe the best promo that Joe Hendry has done. It's definitely the best promo he's done in a while. And to be honest with you, I can't think of any, to me, that were better than this. He just stirred up a lot of emotion here. You know, whether it was him talking about the match, whether him talking about the main event that he was going to wrestle in later on in the night. But the main thing was the Trick Williams stuff. When he started really going in on that Trick Williams issue, Trick beat the hell out of him Tuesday night, on NXT, or not Tuesday night, I should say. After Rebellion, Trick beat the hell out of him. And then, of course, last week on NXT on Tuesday night, he's out there. He's talking his smack about Trick Williams, and he gets completely taken out by the Dark State, right? So this promo was needed. It showed you a non-comedic side to Joe Hendry and maybe a little bit more emotion than what we're normally not getting out of Joe. So freaking fantastic job. I love this promo and I cannot wait to see where this story continues to go. I said the thing a few weeks back when Trick started going heel that I was good with it. I cannot wait. It's going to be interesting to see that side of Trick Williams. now it completely makes sense on why they were doing this. You have to turn Trick heel if you want him to have a feud with Joe Hendry, because there's no damn way in the world Joe Hendry's not getting over. Guy gets over everywhere he goes. I mean, in TNA, there is no greater pops than Joe Hendry. Hardy Pop is there. I guess I should say that. Hardy's Joe Hendry pop is the same. If you can compare anything to a Hardy Pop, you know it's pretty good. But he's getting the same type of pop at NXT. He got the same type of pop at WrestleMania. I mean, anywhere the guy goes. So to see him deliver that passionate of a promo is just special to me. I really enjoyed it. We had an interesting little interaction backstage. Santino Marella was talking to Sami Callihan, and then all of a sudden, here comes my girl Steph DeLander and the old Mance Warner. And you know, these two, Sammy and Mance, have went at it. At Rebellion, they had one of the best dang hardcore matches I've seen in a long time. We talked about that. A lot of barbed wire, a lot of blood. And then they agreed to shake. They shook hands. And, you know, call me old-fashioned. Two extremely, extremely violent dudes. Two extremely amazing wrestlers that put their body on the line in a horrible way every night. You mean to tell me that there's not maybe something there between these two guys? I would like to be able to see Sammy and Mance kind of freaking work this thing out, maybe team up and see what they can do with this. And being led by my girl Steph DeLander. I mean, Steph obviously not cleared yet from the neck issues that she had this past year. So once we get Steph back in the ring, yeah, maybe something different. But let her mouthpiece, let her talk, do her thing, and at the same time lead these two guys into the next level. All right, because I think that both of these guys together could really wreak some havoc. But at the end, they said, we're done for now. As they shook hands, they said, we're done for now. So I really like that. But we had a Mike Santana squash match. He wrestled a fellow named Isaiah Moore. Not really familiar with him. He wasn't bad, very athletic. But we get past the match. I mean, Santana goes over. Like I said, it's a squash. But then he does something that I really wasn't quite prepared for. He talks about how he's done with Mustafa Ali and the Order 4, which, by the way, I'm loving that they're sticking with this name, the Order 4, for Mustafa Ali, Tasha Steelz, and the Great Hands, obviously, the Good Hands with Jason Hotch and my man John Skyler. But basically, Santana says he's done with Mustafa and his crew, and he's ready to climb another mountain, right? And he says he climbed one mountain, he made it to the peak. Now the next move is to go to the bottom of the next mountain and climb back up. Well, the next mountain, he was very clear about, is Joe Hendry. He wants that title, and I'm good with that. Matter of fact, if you remember yesterday, I was talking about the state of TNA. I actually said I wouldn't be surprised to see a Mike Santana go towards a belt run here. But I don't think going against Joe Hendry's the route. That's my thing. I just don't believe we need babyface versus babyface in TNA right now. TNA is too hot right now to go babyface versus babyface. So I would like to see something different with Santana. I just don't know exactly what direction that is. Especially with the fact that Joe Hendry's pretty busy right now with Trick Williams, and this NXT bleed over with Trick is absolutely perfect. So I don't see where Santana fits into this whole idea of Joe Hendry right now. Okay, that's the thing. I'm just saying right now. I have been a huge proponent of Santana's work in the last 6 months. Santana has been doing the best work I've ever seen him do. Some of the best work in TNA. So I mean, to have him jump in to Hendry, babyface versus babyface, it just isn't the fit right now. That's my opinion. It's my take. It's how I feel about it. But what else do we have? We get another EY shot at Macklin. Macklin comes down. He's going to address the crowd. He was just scheduled to appear. Out come the Northern Armory. They hang him once again with a freaking steel chain. This story is getting pretty good because it's getting very violent. The other thing is, man, the Icarus kid, my wife hates this guy. I mean, she just hates him with the head hitting and how he's always like moving around and the twitchy stuff. I love it. I do. I love it. That's a commitment to the character. My question is how does he shut it off? Like, when does he shut it off? I picture him as like old school kayfabe, where like he's walking into the truck stop from road to road. He's getting ready to go to the next show. He walks in the truck stop and he's, all twitchy and doing his thing. Like, I don't know. That's just how I picture him. I think he's doing great work. But Northern Armory come in, they take out Macklin. They end up getting cornered backstage by Santino, and before you know it, EY's got another title match. He's going to get that rematch versus Macklin. He's not going over here. I would be very surprised if he goes over. But what we're doing is leading a little more credence to that international belt with that pretty blue strap, right? So, awesome job. A couple other things I want to throw out here on the TNA broadcast that I thought was good. They did the injury report again, right? The BioFlex injury report. This new sponsor, BioFlex. My wife, who's an athletic trainer by trade, says that it's like this laser therapy stuff. And they actually showed the new BioFlex recovery room first. Awesome. Like, that was really some cool looking equipment. I'd like to hear some explanations on all of it. That stuff interests me as a coach slash former coach. Wife's an AT, like that kind of stuff. It interests me. I know I got one of my listeners is a physical therapist, or pretty high up there guy. You know what I'm talking about. If you know anything about the BioFlex, message me, Chad. Message me if you can. I'm curious as to what that stuff is about. It's just interesting to me. So we had that. So I'm loving the fact that they stayed consistent with that injury report thing. It only makes sense with the BioFlex sponsorship. So well done on that. Back to the freaking ring, though, we get a little promo. Santino Marella and Cody Deaner having a conversation. I like Cody Deaner, man. He has such a strong social media presence. Also, really good about hitting back with people on social media. He does interactions and stuff. I just, well done. He does a good job. And Cody Deaner's fighting for this contract. Like he says, his contract was up as of May 1st, which was Thursday. However, he's going to get an opportunity at Under Siege, the next TNA PB, the next TNA pay-per-view. We're going to get a Eddie Edwards, or as Santino Marella calls him, Edward Edwards. So we're going to get Eddie Edwards versus Cody Deaner, with the opportunity of Cody Deaner winning a contract back. I like these type of stories. The other thing, now, Cody, if I could be completely off on this, but I maybe see a dark side turn coming here. I don't know. You know, when the company dicks you around as much as they're dicking you around, I'm just saying. But we also know that it's always the people's choice with Cody Deaner. So if the people approve, we shall see. But I'm interested in that. And you know what? Cody Deaner's good on the mic. He's great, like I said, with his social media presence that he has. I like the fact that he's getting a little extra TV time. I really do. He's good on the mic. He's good in the ring. The one thing I do want to say about that piece is the crowd. By the way, the Irvine crowd was smoking. But you whatted Cody Deaner when he was out there pleading for a job. Like, that's, have a little bit of clue. Have a little bit of clue of what we're doing here. Also, the one thing that brought up too was, and I was talking about this with the crowds the other night, how crowds are popping for different things, and you know, they're cheering the heel, booing the freaking babyface. I came to the conclusion that a lot of it is about music. It really is. The crowds are into the music pops. That's why you hear the pop. That's why eventually it kind of tapers off down the way, but some of it doesn't. So I'm curious to see how all of that goes. We had an appearance from Robert Stone, Ava's assistant at NXT. And he appears with a very peculiar person. Victoria Crawford, a.k.a. Victoria Fox, former Divas champion in WWE, setting up a match with Victoria and Masha Slamovich. I'm just going to put it like this. This makes zero sense to me. Okay? I don't think the Tessa thing was over. And then, of course, we have the interaction backstage where Robert Stone's talking to Santino. Victoria's right there with him. And then here comes Tessa. And before you know it, Tessa's leaving with Robert Stone and Victoria together. And it's like, wait a second. This doesn't click with me, because in reality, Victoria just took Tessa's spot. If Tessa is a true heel, she's kicking her ass too, right? So that's the only thing I'm saying. That didn't work for me. It didn't make any sense. I don't think Tessa should be that fast joining up with Robert Stone. Just my personal opinion, all right? We had Maggie Lee over Jody Threet. I'll spend as about as much time as that I did yesterday. It was an okay match. Maggie Lee's got some talent, all right? Indy Hartwell dropped a decent promo. Welcome to TNA. Her first true appearance in TNA as a TNA superstar. So awesome job. And let's see. Leon Slater. First off, Leon Slater, after the huge spot the other day, he's okay. Thank goodness he's okay. Right. I'm sure that there was quite a bit done backstage with that whole thing. But I just want to say this. Leon Slater goes over Casey Navarro. Casey Navarro, always underrated. Guys, Leon Slater's a star. Like, he is an absolute star. I mean, I'm not going to say star in the making. Dude is a star. There's nothing he can't do. He's gotten so much better on the mic. Mark my word, this guy is big time bound. Very, very soon, big time bound. What is he, 20, 21 years old? Like, dude is nothing but the future ahead of him. He's going to be a future world champion. I promise you. He's got so much Jeff Hardy in him. And then at the same time, he's got some other like power wrestlers in him. He honestly, this is going to sound really weird. He's got an Eddie Guerrero feel to him with like some of his transition moves and things. I don't know why. That just kind of jumps out to me, but it's a different type of flavor. For every bit of Will Ospreay you're getting out of him, you're getting just as much like Ricky Saints type style. Ethan Page, even, he can do hard hitting stuff, but at the same time, high fly. If I had to mark one thing about him, we got to get a little bit better on the mic. But I'll say this: a month ago, I would have said I don't like his selling. I would have said his selling needs to get better in order for him to be a star. I don't know if he took my notes or what the hell, but dude is selling just as good as anybody. His facials are great. Leon Slater is a star. All right. It's going to happen. He's going to have a belt on him very, very soon. I get a feeling. All right. Matter of fact, the way they kept pumping up the Moose and Leon Slater thing, by the way, great editing job, by the way. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But great editing job by the backstage truck folks. But yeah, I think we're going to get a Leon Slater Moose thing again. One-on-one, I think. Now, I would like to see that be a ladder match. It makes sense that it's a ladder match because of what's happened with them two already, and Moose is scared of heights and blah, blah, blah. So that brings us to the main event. Main event was fantastic, man. The Nemeth and Kaz, they go over the Hardys and Joe Hendry. Let me say that again. The Nemeths and Kaz go over Joe Hendry and the Hardys. Great match. Had a little bit of everything. We had a little bit of rule breaking. We had a little bit of high flying. We had a little bit of hard hitting. But I want to say a thing. The entrance, man. The entrance got me. Because not only did I believe in Joe Hendry, we also believed in Jeff Hardy. And we also believed in Matt Hardy. And I thought it was so good. I mean, the way they all came out on stage and turned together, did the Joe Hendry turn, and then we get all three of them deleting in sequence. Like, man, oh man, you just know how to get me all in the feels. Sometimes wrestling can do something so just simple, so, and it's a throwback in a way, but so simple. And just, it's like, okay, this works. You got the hottest guy in wrestling right now, or arguably one of the hottest guys in wrestling right now, against arguably one of the hottest teams to ever live. I mean, Hardy's, there's a thing as the Hardy Pop. We've talked about it. So this match was fantastic. Beginning to end, it was good. The finish was a little wonky. I am glad that we got Nick Nemeth pinning Jeff Hardy this time rather than Ryan Nemeth. Although I want to say Ryan Nemeth is really, really growing on me in a major way. He did an interview on Busted Open, the second best wrestling podcast in the world. He did an interview on there on Thursday, I think, with Dave LaGreca and his brother Nick Nemeth, and it was outstanding. Ryan Nemeth is hilarious. So we scored this show a B+. It was really good. Matter of fact, top to bottom, there was very little wrong with this. We had a few pieces, like I said, but other than that, it was great. So that brings us to SmackDown, guys. We're going to go a little quicker through SmackDown. I scored this a B+ as well. I don't know if you've noticed. We've had Raw, Dynamite, TNA, and SmackDown, all with B+. I'm starting to think that maybe my students are cheating. Okay, but regardless, SmackDown was good. Live from Des Moines, Iowa. All right, Des Moines, Iowa, the capital of Iowa. I know it's Des Moines. It will forever be funny to me. Forever to be funny. People in my family might remember this. I was so little, you're surprised I probably remember, but I do remember my cousin saying Des Moines. Anyway, LA Knight started things off with a promo. It was okay. It was okay up until the Priest thing. It was almost like Priest's music hit off. So then LA Knight had to kind of ramble and extend it, and that got him off. I don't know if it was just off script or what it was. That was the only problem I had. It was a little off, but it was noticeably off when the music hit, and then LA Knight kind of stumbled a little beforehand. So I don't know, but it wasn't bad. What else did we get here? We had the issues when Priest came out. Then it led into a freaking awesome match between Damian Priest and LA Knight. Damn good match, actually. Hard hitting. And when when LA Knight is in there with a bigger wrestler like that can really help control the situation, I think he looks a lot better in ring. Not that he ever looks bad, but sometimes when he does like the jump up to the top rope, and I love the hop up elbow drop that he does. It's really good. He gets really a lot of elevation. But when he's with a bigger guy, it just seems to go smoother. I don't know why. It just, the aesthetic of it, the look of it just seems better. So I thought that match was fantastic. We had Solo come down, and he's starting to clean a little house. The bell rings. We got a DQ. And then Solo starts getting his ass kicked. A little partner work by LA Knight and Damian Priest. And then my man, the Samoan werewolf, Fatu, he comes down and he clears house. Kicks everybody's ass. Matter of fact, they might have kicked Solo's ass if he wanted to. He could have kicked anybody's ass. You'll kick anybody's ass you want to, Jacob Fatu. That's just like, the guy is hot. He's red hot. Everything he's doing. I don't know about licking the title belt. I don't know. I get it. You're savage, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know about licking the title belt. The reason being, Jade does the licking thing. So I don't know. There's something about that doesn't work for me. I can't believe I just said Jacob Fatu does something that doesn't work for me. There you go. I did. It was a great little piece, all right? We had a decent little tag match. Fraxium coming back in the house, this time stepping up the competition with, yes, boy, Pretty Deadly. PD looked fantastic, by the way. Pretty Deadly is so good in the ring. It was interesting to see them with Fraxium because they get to play the role of the stronger team, the power team. And man, they did a great job. The other thing I want to say about this is Nathan Frazier fast or what? Like, I don't know if you've noticed, but Nathan Frazier's fast. I want him and Braun Breaker to race running the ropes, just like put one in one ring and one in the other, and then we'll put a stopwatch on them. I don't know why. They both look phenomenal. I think Frazier's quicker, but Braun is so much bigger. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. So decent little thing. We had a promo. Nia comes out with a promo, which, by the way, excellent job, Nia. Never let the crowd get to her. Her gear looked fantastic, by the way. But Tiffy comes out. We're getting a little Nia Tiffy. Loved that Tiffy got tough. She wasn't the scared little Tiffy from before, and that was awesome. Okay, let's see here. Tiffy comes out, then Naomi comes out. Oh my God, Naomi! Naomi's doing the best work in the WWE for the women's division right now. I mean, I believe that. So, great freaking job on that piece. And then Naomi gets ran off by Jade. So what we end up getting here is the setup for our main event, which was up and down. It wasn't bad. But I want to talk a little bit about Aleister Black and The Miz. Okay, this is Aleister Black's comeback match since he's came back from WWE. He appeared last week, kicked The Miz in the face. This time he's back with The Miz. And I want to say this match was so good. Aleister Black has such a weird style, right? But it just goes to show how freaking good The Miz is. There is no one The Miz can't make look good. There is no one The Miz can't sell for. It doesn't matter what style you are. You could be Braun Breaker. You could be freaking Jacob Fatu. You could be Nathan Frazier. The Miz is going to make you look good. And he proved that last night by being able to do so well against Aleister Black. That freaking, the cartwheel, though, that Aleister Black did as The Miz was getting ready for his little finisher, little blunt force trauma, as he's getting. Actually, that's LA Knight. It's such a similar move. Anyway, so The Miz is getting ready for the finish, and then he gets the cartwheel out of it, and I just thought that was really smooth, and the timing of it worked. But that doesn't work if it's not The Miz. It really doesn't. So really, really good there. Decent piece backstage with Chelsea. In mourning, by the way. I love this piece. You guys know we don't talk politics on here, but I really liked the political, I don't know, let's just call it what it is, making fun of the political situation. I enjoyed that. Now, I hope that didn't offend anybody, because that's not what it's meant to, because it's making fun of the whole political situation, not just one thing. But I liked it, all right? And if you didn't get that, don't worry about it. No big deal, okay? But it ended up leading to a match of Zelina Vega and Piper Niven, which obviously pisses Chelsea off. Chelsea should get why does Chelsea not get an immediate rematch? Bullshit. I am starting to think that Nick Aldis has a problem with her. I really do. I think maybe we need to go to the higher ups. All right, the triplest of the H's, and see what the deal is. But after that, we got one of the best damn promos Randy Orton has cut in his life. it's been up and down as far as the reviews I get for it online, but I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was one of his best promos. But in all honesty, one of my favorite thing of this whole thing was when Randy's walking down the aisle, and now coming down the aisle, and Randy's coming down the aisle, and this, like, he's giving everybody the high fives and blah blah blah, doing his thing. Randy's pulling this baby face stuff off so well. Then you see a little kid, and the little kid, he's got his arms out, he wants a hug, and Randy double takes him, and then he went, right. And then he goes in and he gives this kid such a huge hug. And it reminded me of how awesome wrestling is. I mean, it just did. It reminded me of how amazing it's always been from when I was a little kid watching this as a 5-year-old. I mean, I'm freaking 42 years into this thing now. You know, I'm watching this as a 5-year-old, and then that kind of stuff. I can remember being at shows as a 9 and 10-year-old. That's how old the kid looked in my brain. And just, such a part of it. And it was so different. And that love. And I just hope that kid will never, ever forget that moment. And it's just awesome. It's just awesome. Wrestling can be such a soothing, healing thing. And it is for me. You know me personally. You know how much it is for me. So I really like that. My favorite part of the promo itself was he said, "You're just another legend that I have to kill." Bringing back legend killer Randy Orton. He knew this was happening when he started kind of keying in on the punt with KO. And last night he said he was going to punt Cena's head directly off his shoulders. Yes. It was awesome. Legend killer Randy Orton is my favorite version of Randy Orton. But think about this. This is legend killer babyface Randy Orton. This is a different little trek that we're taking here. So I'm very, very in on this. Very in on it. We're running out of time, so we want to go ahead and wrap this thing up here. Ray Phoenix went over Santos Escobar. I wish I had more time. I may revisit this a little bit tomorrow because it started really weird. These two are both two of the best luchadors in the world. And then early on in the match, they're not fighting a lucha style. They're actually doing a hard hitting, like Japan style, where they're squaring off with each other and chopping the piss out of each other. It became a lucha showcase, though. So really, really great job of storytelling, starting with that hard hitting, let's just call it Josie Japan style of wrestling, and then going into that high flying lucha, also catch wrestling, transition wrestling stuff that the luchadors do. Really impressed. One of the best matches of the week. It'll have a chance at match of the week. I do think so. And that brings us to our main event, guys. Tiffy and Jade went over Nia and Naomi. This was never going to end up being a clean match in any way. None of these people get along. Nia and Naomi aren't going to get along, which was proven. Naomi, by the way, still looked the best in this match. Her heel work is so good. Her gear is good. Her song is good. She's just fantastic work. The finish was really good. I like the finish just because it gave Naomi a little bit of props. All hell breaks loose. Nia does her thing. Jade does her thing. And then before it's all over with, Naomi's cleared house. And as the show ends, Naomi slowly hoisting that belt above her head. I don't know. The women's championship looks to be out for a lot of people right now, right? Are we getting Tiffy Nia? Are we getting Tiffy Jade eventually? Are we going to get Tiffy Naomi? Right now, I think we're getting Tiffy Nia first, obviously, and then we're going to have Jade, Naomi finish their story, and then eventually down the road, I have a feeling we're going to get a Naomi title shot. So I hope we get a Naomi title shot. She's deserved it since she's got back into the WWE, and right now she's doing the best work she's ever done. So great freaking job. I scored it a B+. Like I said, we've got a lot of B+ this week. I think my kids are cheating. So let's talk about AEW Collision really quick as we wrap up, guys. Toni Storm versus Lady Frost tonight in another title eliminator match. That ought to be pretty good. We got Brody King versus the walking weapon Josh Alexander. And then the last thing they've got scheduled is Harley Cameron. Feel the wrath. Harley Cameron versus Megan Bayne. So, could be a good night on Collision. I believe it's regular time. If you might, don't quote me on that. You might want to check and make sure there's not a playoff game on tonight because I'm not sure. So set your DVRs accordingly. Okay, set your DVRs accordingly. But it's going to be a great night, guys. Next week, tomorrow, I will do our Sunday show. We will have our weekend review. It's been a great week of wrestling, guys. I'm all caught up. I'll be all caught up tomorrow, and hopefully get to watch a little New Japan later tonight. We shall see. We shall see. But thank you for joining us here on the Slow Burn Pro Wrestling Podcast, where all professional wrestling storylines live. Folks, and remember, in this world, we're wrestling everything. Stay on top.